Hello everyone. We are going to see about the forms of crime. Terrorism Chapter 2 Continuation. Causes of terrorism. People are not born terrorists. Therefore, it is an significant point that the terrorism is a long process and a political strategy selected from among a range of other options to achieve their goals. The process of terrorism has an historical background, which involves people who think that the political system is treating them harshly. Terrorists may belong to any culture or country. Terrorism is a very rigid problem and its genesis are different. As Franks says, the study of terrorism has become preoccupied with the constant debate that revolves around explaining what actually constitutes terrorism and how to counter it, instead of perhaps concentrating on why it actually occurs. Ethno-nationalism. The desire of group of persons in the society to separate from the existing government and to formation of their new nation can cause the creation of terrorist organizations. In the 20th century, many nations gained freedom from colonial-era masters through violence. However, as Bruce Hoffman points out in Inside Terrorism, that this type of terrorism was in existence even before the First World War. But the most of these famous groups, created before and after World War II and encouraged by the deteriorating of imperial powers. Characteristics of terrorism. It is exercised by organized groups. It is inspired by political motive. Use of violence is intended to arouse fright or alarm. There is systematic and indiscriminate use of violence and breach of law. Influencing factor. Some of the influencing factors PERSIA. P stands for political influences. E stands for economic influences. R stands for religious influences. S stands for social influences. I stands for intellectual and arts influences. A stands for area and geographic influences. Strong motivation to terminate terror. Evokes classic ego defense mechanisms and displacement. Often produces frustration, aggression, reaction, general increase in mental illness, acute stress disorder, ASD, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Psychological impact of terrorism. How terrorists operate. Assaults and murders. Kidnapping and skyjackings. Arson and bombings. Weapons of mass destruction. Purpose of terrorism. Fear. Panic. Disruption. Demoralization. Intimidation. Embarrass government. Media attention. Causes of terrorism. Methods of terrorism. Injustice. Politicians. Poverty and illiteracy. Media, controlled by politicians. Religious causes. Firearms. Explosive and incendiary devices. Chemical agents. Biological agents. Nuclear weapon. Prevention of terrorism. Primary prevention. Education. Understand the differences in cultures, religions, beliefs, and human behaviors. Think of the peace, freedom, and equality of all human beings, not just my group of people. Eliminate the root of terrorism. Secondary prevention. Establish surveillance and monitoring system on terrorism attack. Improve protective system for citizens. Tertiary prevention. Early detection of the sources. Prevent the extension of impairments. Rescue the survivors. Console the rest of the population. Thank you for your support. Keep watching and subscribe now to stay update only on 2D Media. Future criminologist Kutakudi follows on FB, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.